I'm super happy to have us all here. Mike, you were actually the one that introduced me to Darius.
Mm-hmm.
And now here we are in Austin, Texas. We flew down to hang out and spend the whole day with Darius. It's been amazing. Been reading his book, Core Value Equation. We've been talking about you a bunch too all day long because of Fix This Next. So like, you're the man. You brought us all together. Thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome. But you know, Darius is a stud. We go a little ways back through GOT.
Yeah.
And he reached out. He's
What
like, I'm
is
thinking about
GOT for people who don't know?
it stands for Gathering of Egos. We just call it T.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Gathering of Egos, also known as Gatherings Titans. But the premise behind this group is it originally started, Darius and I started in different groups, but it started off as a different group called Birthing of Giants. And the whole idea was 100 entrepreneurs a year would get together with the potential, you had to apply for this, you had the potential as deemed by this authority to be the next great entrepreneur of like the generation. And out of this, Michael Dell was one of the original founders. It used to be called ACE, whatever, became an original founder. But then there was like, in my class, 1-800-GOT-JUNK, co-founder of Burt's Bees, Rob French, all these businesses came out of it. And Darius and I met through that. And it formed into this ongoing organization. We've met for now 20 years, I think. This year we had to skip because of COVID.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Oh.
So next year,
Darius like, I need someone to launch. I said, launch. It's Amber Vilhauer. Stop what he's saying. Yeah, no, you know, if you want to sell books, if you're dead serious, and in this group, there's no bullshitting around. You just say your truth, and either you act on it or not. And Darius is like, I'm in. I said, great. And I said, you're going to sell a lot of books, bro.
Yeah.
I said, bro. I ended it with a bro. I'm like, you're going to sell a lot of books, bro.
And I was like, thanks, man. No, at first I was like, dude, why won't Michalowicz just tell me more? And then I was like, no, he's literally handing me the keys to the castle, golden platter. Dude, thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. Oh
Seriously, I've been gushing about Amber and you for like, it's kind of weird now because they're like, why do you?
Hold on, did you say superfluous and you? Here's how you say it. Like, dude, I've been gushing about Amber and you.
I swear, yeah.
I swear to God. No,
I promise. I wasn't saying anything. It's like, it changed my life. Like, dude, like I didn't realize the gift you were giving me. It's been really cool.
I would argue the most important, excuse me. Yeah, hello.
I think we're gonna get that.
So, should I take a call live?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hot seat time. Buckle up.
Yeah. Hey, who is this? That's not how you answer. Who is this? Hello? Hello?
Chinese telemarketing company.
One more time. Who is this?
Hello?
Yeah. Who is this?
Oh, I know.
You're on a live broadcast. That's why I'm being a dick.
Oh, I'm like, what?
So
you're busy.
No, I'm not really busy. So I am busy. I'm on a live broadcast with a team. We're talking about Fix This Next and other stuff. And just so you know, this is my web developer, Liz Dobrinska, who's here.
Oh, hey, Liz.
Hello, everyone.
And Liz is currently working on the new site concepts. I still over the wireframe, but I'm launching a brand new book called Different is Better. And Liz, I'm going to hang up on you because you don't have to hear this, but I'll call you back, okay? Yeah, bye.
You won't be long. Don't worry.
So, but here's the thing. We're launching a new site, and to market my book, it's got to be different. So what I'm thinking about doing, tell me if this resonates with you, Darius, because I know Amber is the marketer. She's like, oh, I'm all over this. But Darius, you pretending you're the consumer of a book. Here's what I'm doing. I'm doing a live production of the book. The website, I got the domain now. It says Watch Me Write or Watch Us Write because my co-writer, AJ, is there. Watch Us Write. And the entire production of the book is going to be broadcast live, just like the Truman Show. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Dude.
Yeah, so it's the Truman Show for books. Thumbs up?
Love it. Yes.
Isaac, you're in?
Yeah, that's an amazing idea. I was telling somebody, everybody wants to know what it's like to write a book. That's
right. So just broadcast the entire process, and then my hope is it simply builds awareness for the book in a different way. And I'm doing it anyway, so it's no more work. It's just she has to design the website.
Yeah.
I think
Brilliant,
you should do the Castaway version where you regrow the beard out really long and you get a volleyball.
You can't hear you very well.
Yeah.
I actually trimmed it up because
I
Amber,
noticed.
I saw it in the last one.
I
Amber was like,
noticed. So, I mean, when you were like, looks like a growth on my face.
yeah, well, when I pulled it, it like shot out a mile. So I've now kind of refined. Yeah, it looked gross.
You look very
Really good.
regal now, but I like
It does look regal.
You look regal, like you're like a monarch from like the 1700s.
Yeah, you look super good.
Yeah. Like King Mike.
King Mike.
You got any beard balm suggestions?
I don't know. We'll check on that.
Yeah.
What's a beard balm?
It's stuff you put in your beard. A balm, like BALM.
Oh, balm. I thought you meant bomb, like the bomb.
No, you don't. Your face explodes. You're like.
That's where your beard ends up like this.
Yeah.
There was, just as a background, there was a story of a guy's head effectively exploding. It was the collar bomber. And you got to Google it. It's the most effing bizarre story. There was a guy who had a collar that was a bomb, and he robbed a bank, and the bomb blew up. And so you can imagine what happened to his head.
Needs to Google this article right now.
Google collar bomber. It happened in Pennsylvania, my own backyard.
What Western or Eastern Pennsylvania?
Eastern, of course. We're all the weirdos.
Hey, listen. I come from a long line of Western Pennsylvanians, so I may have to go to town on this.
Western Pennsylvania is so weird it comes back to normal. It's like such a full loop.
Yeah.
The Eastern PAers, oh my god.
So we should
New Jersey.
Probably talk about core values too. So we have Darius on here who just wrote a book on the core value equation. We got Mike who's got amazing core values that we should hear about. So let's roll into that.
I do want to hear about your core values.
Yeah, I was getting distracted there. So here's something interesting about core values. Core values, in my opinion, is the representation of who we are intrinsically as individuals, and then have the business be an amplification or manifestation of it. I think some businesses try to reverse it and say, what's our business core value? And then we try to adhere to it, but it's not consistent. I think the opportunity of a small business owner is, what's the rules I live by? And these are intrinsic. So I goof around, I'm goofy. And it doesn't resonate with everyone. Some people are like, oh my God, can I be serious for a second?
Best.
And so it polarizes. Some people are like, I love it because why does life have to be so serious? And other people are like, this guy's an idiot. But that polarization becomes a great filter to bring in your tribe. So I did actually a thing, and I encourage you all to try this out. I reached out to friends I haven't talked to since college and high school, and current friends, and said, if you were to define me by 5 or 6 adjectives or phrases, what would they be? And I looked for the commonality across all of them, and I'm like, oh, that's my values. It was a great way to identify it. So not overly optimistic, but always optimistic, goofy, rarely a dick, sometimes a D-bag, rarely a dick. So I came up with my rules. And so I have one rule. It's actually the favorite here at the office, is no dicks allowed. And what that means is we as a business won't work with people that are dicks. It's just not worth it. And we have to live by that. So anytime I demonstrate a dickish behavior, I will beat myself up for it forever, and I will not permit myself to do it again and need to correct it. And that's true for all my colleagues here. My website has to be a non-dickish website. I'm not a pontificator. I'm not like this, look how amazing I am, you can be like me. It's like, I'm just a guy that has some advice and experience that may serve you or may not. So those core values become filters throughout the entire organization.
And what's your spin?
Yes. I mean, no. I mean, I think that.
Yes, I mean no.
Yeah. Yes. By that I mean not so much. No. No. I fully agree. I believe that when we are authentic to what we are, and it's funny that you called up your friends and asked them. I say, what would people that truly know you and love you say about you were your best qualities at your funeral? And that's what would you feel like if they were really going to be honest about who you were? What would they be talking about? What stories would they tell? And that's another way of getting there as well, And so I think it's when we are fully unapologetically own who we are. This is as a person, right? When we're talking about personal core values. For a business, it's the same. And it depends on the size of the business, obviously, because you have different constituents involved. But like, what is that business at its core? What do they really stand for? Forget about just the CEO. I'm talking about the company, the organism of the company. What does it stand for when push comes to shove? No matter what. What are they unapologetic about? Quit trying to fucking please everybody and just be what you are. And when you're that, then you can take that, and my book's about discovery, design, implementing, rolling it out, and then turning it into what I say is the language of the organization, so then you can supercharge execution and strategy. And so, to your point, which is I think the greatest part about core values, is it creates this unquestionable filter for every single thing you do. So I agree.
Yeah, in some, I take it back, many people get scared about putting it out. I mean, they say that's their core value, but they're not consistent with it. They're like, well, I got to placate to what the world wants. I got to adjust. It's funny. I just reached out to some gyms. So I had an idea. I'm working on my new book, and I had some ideas, and it's a marketing book, and basically really amplifying your value. And so gyms, all these gyms around here are about transformation. We'll take you from here to there. And I noticed in all the gyms in this area, they had their clients before and after pictures. Well, I had an idea. I said, instead of doing the same as everyone else, why not get like those funhouse mirrors where you see one funhouse and you're like super squat and fat, another one that stretches you out. And like, why not put funhouse mirrors out, and the squat fat one says before, and then the lean one says after. It says, we can transform you, right? This is what they stand for. It's not transforming their clients, it's their new client. I can't tell how many gyms said, that's too risky. That's not, we don't do that. But I'm like, that's what you say you do. Of course we do. I'm like, then do it. Like, no, I can't do it. Yeah. So core values, it's not just stating them, it's living by them. And that seems to be the biggest challenge.
Yeah. And you know what though? And this is like probably a great representation of yourself, is that people are thirsty and dying for that authenticity. So when you use that example of those businesses, no, Mike, I want to go look like everyone else that I'm not, and bore my clients into not giving a shit.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like, how many times have you gone to a gym? You're like, oh, I'm going to join this one because he has this before and after picture of this one person. 0 times, because that's Jenny Craig's been playing that out for 25 years. But to your point, if you do it differently, then at least they're like, oh, this place is fun, or they're enthusiastic, and maybe you're going to your point, resonate with people to get them to come in and want to be a part of your tribe. And that's where values have this opportunity. I say they're the most valuable asset you have in your organization. And to your point, they're the most underutilized and underleveraged. So
no question, sir. No question.
We have a question coming in really quick. Oh, do you have something else to add?
Well, I just have one final thought is when I was writing Fix This Next, when I was writing that book, I interviewed people who got stuck. So there's these 5 levels we can move through: sales, there you go, sales, profit, and order are levels about what the business must get in order to have impact and legacy. There's a lot of business owners that once the business is at order, meaning it runs itself, they're making money, it's become a cash ATM, they're like, I'm done, and I'm hitting the golf course. And I'm not even playing it. I'm not judging this, but consistently when I interviewed those people on the golf course, I don't know if it was round 500 or round 50, when they said, is this all there is? And my sense is they ignored their values. They had something, and it was beyond make money and make time. There was this thing about transforming others, about being of service. And when we don't live into those values, I think the day is going to come for all of us, if we didn't live into our values, that we're like, I missed something, or is this all there is? So I think there's something greater going on.
Yeah. So, I mean, like when you say that, my take is you're landing right on this, like living in with purpose in mind. Right. And that, like, these guys are like out there swinging their clubs and like, yeah, this is fun, but there was something that got them there, that stress, if you will, that friction around getting there, where they had to be engaged in their values, and they had to like fight to make it happen, and having that purpose and having that, like, there was a quote someone told me, they said, every man needs to have a project, right? And then when you're like living into that purpose and values, once you've gotten to that certain point, that gives you that fulfillment that you're talking about. And I just think that we as human beings are wired to want it, so there. That's great.
I love that.
Aw. So Mary has a question. She would love to hear the top 3 core values.
Oh, that's how you make a heart. That's better. Mine was more like a blob. It was like, dude, right here, bro. Top. Yeah, there we go.
Top 3 core values from each of us.
Okay.
Here's a church. Here's a steeple.
Things are
Here's
getting
the
weird.
staple. Here's the papes. Top 3 core values for us individually.
Well, personally or professionally, business or personal.
Why don't we do a round
I'm
robin? Like,
business.
everyone does one at a time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
All right. You want to start?
No.
I'll start.
Yeah.
My most important one is meaningful connection. Like if I am not connecting with people, then what am I doing? I'm lost.
Nice. Am I next?
Yeah.
I
You
don't
get to point to who
yeah,
goes next. How
Yeah,
about that?
I don't have them in, or I don't have a number. They're not ranked, but one of mine that I love is I call it Eye of the Tiger, and that's around passion, and that's around like living a passionate life and like grit, being fired up to like go make it happen.
I love
And
it. Is that your
last-
song? too?
Well, it's my favorite song,
Should
like
I-
without question. Yeah.
Oh, we'll
I
end
love Eye
on
of the
that one.
Tiger.
Okay, we'll end on
Yeah. Mike.
Positivity or death. That everything we can look at can be spun into a positive opportunity, and we can leverage it. And I think if I live into negativity, it becomes a death spiral.
I love us. Yeah.
Unwavering excellence. So it's something that I have a really hard time with the mediocre in myself or in other people that are around me. And fortunately, I've been surrounded by, obviously here, amazing people, and the team's amazing. But that's something that's always been a thing for me, was just unwavering excellence. Like no excuses, make it happen and do it right.
Love it.
Who are you going to call next?
Gosh, I think we'll go back to Darius.
So my number 1 core value is heart, and it stands
Wait,
for.
number 1, you said you don't rank them.
Well, I mean, there's
I
an
think
order.
you were trying to give me shit before,
There's
and then I just
I love it.
I mean, like, it's not if I had to choose one. I'm just saying, like, in order, because I've
Sure, okay.
listen. The book's all about designing them. So there's
Alphabetically. Alphabetically.
yeah, heart, which is happiness, and I have a Fibonacci heart, which is it stands for just like what is it that makes me want to be engaged every day, and the being around my family, and like what really brings me joy and happiness in my work and family and friends, and how do I want to get there?
Love it.
All right, I'm gonna go Amber.
Okay. All in. That's mine. I want to be all in to the things that I do. I want to be all in with the people that I surround myself with, and just elevates every experience that way.
I'll
Mike.
grab it. Blood money, and not in the the mafioso sense, but blood money in the sense that money needs to be. Money is the bloodstream of business, and needs to be respected and addressed that way. It needs to be cared for and protected, and it will fuel a business.
Beautiful.
Okay, so better together. And I got this from our director of operations, Mary.
I love Mary. She's awesome.
She is incredible. So better together, we all have our own individual strengths. And when we try to play too far outside our strengths, we end up in trouble. And so surrounding ourselves with people with complementary strengths and aligned values is super important. And so that's one of our core values that came from Mary.
Nice.
Are we on like number 3
So,
for
number
all of
three.
us?
Darius, you're up, bro.
3?
Am I up? So I just exited my business, so I'm not doing my business core values. I'm doing my personal ones. So my other, I have 6, but I'm gonna tell you, I call it boom, and it with an exclamation point. And that-
Boob?
boom, boom, like
Oh, I thought you said boob.
like boom.
Boom.
That
I'm
was
clear.
awkward if it were boob.
Yeah, boob is
that would be
they're
weird.
like Darius, like that's really like not cool. Hashtag me too. Don't go
My
there.
number one core value is boobs.
Boobs. I'm kind of into that. No, BOOM exclamation point. So it stands for creativity, and it says like, tear down the establishment, make room for new ideas, really live a creative existence. And for me, if I'm not being creative, it's not good. So.
I like that one.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna go Isaac. We're gonna go a different way.
Okay, so
Different is better. I've been told. I mean,
Yes,
Different
I've heard
is
it's good, a wonderful book
talking about, yeah.
coming out.
Loyalty or commitment. I mean, that's something that is getting more and more rare. in today's business ecosystem, and that becomes more and more valuable. So someone who is, and that comes from core values, right? A core values alignment really adds to a lot of loyalty. Whereas if you have a misalignment, then you end up with people who are less committed, less loyal, and easier to have them walk.
Nice.
Amber this time.
My last one is fulfilled. You know, I want to be fulfilled in every moment that I can be. And I want my team to feel that fulfillment in every task that they do, every email that they send, every team interaction or client interaction. Fulfillment is huge for NGNG.
Nice.
And doing a little cleanup hitting here, give to give. And I understand the idea of give to get, but it also sounds manipulative to me. Like, oh, I'm giving with the intention of receiving. And so give to give as give for the joy of giving. So there is a benefit, but it's just contribution, particularly unexpected giving. That's the coolest. I love that.
Yes. I'm curious from the viewers what your favorite core value was of all of the ones that you heard. So drop a comment below. If you have any other questions for us around core values, drop that in comments below. Bringing this back to Fix This Next for a moment. I'm going to open it up to the room. Is it possible to achieve impact and legacy without fully living into your core values, having aligned core values, like defining them, living into them, aligning with them? Is it possible to achieve the top of the hierarchy?
Legacy, or is that impact? What is it?
Impact or legacy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's Russian roulette. I think you might end up somewhere in the ballpark, but it's closing your eyes and pointing and shooting, and you may get lucky.
Luck.
We were just talking at lunch about luck is not a strategy, essentially. Yeah. And so you may get lucky, but in order to have the best chance of survival and having a thriving business, it's you drastically improve your odds when you start with core values, and that's going to just really line everything up from there.
You want, Mike, do you want to take it from here?
No, I said to do that clicking noise where you think you're going to talk, but I don't.
I was going to say, so like, I think there's a really good example of this, which is Uber, right? And so they created a ton of impact. And the legacy of Travis Kalanick and his group is not what he probably wished it was, because they had toxic core values. They probably were authentic to who they were, but if you had said, hey man, I'm going to give you this opportunity to become a billionaire and create this mega crazy company, but you're going to play by these rules that once you get really big, it's not going to scale and people are going to like basically make you quit. Would you do it? And I think he might say yes, he might say no, he might do it differently, but I would say the legacy that he's left is kind of a double-edged sword, which is they were authentic to their core values to the point of toxicity, and the legacy is both good and bad. So I think it depends on what legacy you're trying to leave. I do think that core values equal your results, you know? So I'm not going to like bash on him. I would want to create an Uber. I just wouldn't want it to be a toxic environment. So my legacy, I'd want it to be more on the positive side.
I remember a story. I'm going to totally bastardize this, so just hang with me. I think it was Fender guitars, but it could have been someone else. But I think it was Fender. And Fender, they make the Stratocaster, one of their most famous lines, and it's an excellent guitar. And one of their corporate values, which was the value of the owner, the founder, was superior quality, to make something just extraordinary. And their quality over the years was declining. And this is a generational business now, so there's future generations in it. Not family generations, but just, you know, it's been around for 100 years, whatever. The quality was so bad that they were on the verge of bankruptcy. The new president came in and went right to the core values. And he came out, he off the line, he pulled the entire manufacturing line together, picked out one of the guitars they just finished making, said, this is a $2,000 guitar. And he just took it and started smashing it. And he goes, we're making shit here. We're making shit. Because we need to be, we're embarrassed by this. This is not the Fender reputation, because we got one shot left and there's not much time. Because we got about 6 months to turn this around. We're making quality, and otherwise we're throwing it out. And it turned the organization around. And now it may have not been Fender, it may have been Ibanez or another guitar manufacturer. I'm pretty sure it was Fender. But the story that's important is adherence to our values has to trump the quick dollar, just making money. it has to be way more significant. And that in turn will bring the right money, which is usually a lot more money.
Yeah, that's such a cool story, man.
Any questions for Mike?
I mean,
So what are you doing later tonight, Mike?
Yeah.
What are you wearing?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Wait.
He's going to be dancing the Eye of the Tiger.
Are those shorts? No, I mean, I'm so pumped for you, bro. And I'm so happy that you've crushed it with your books. And I'm just glad
I can't wait
we've
to read
become
the next
friends.
one too.
Yeah, me too.
How's your book journey going? I got a question for you.
I'm in the heat of it. It's been awesome. I mean, it's been amazing
How many pre-orders do you have?
I'm at close to 4,000 pre-orders right now.
4,000 pre-orders.
Mother Lord Jesus, that's huge, dude.
And now he launched a live streaming show called The Greatness Machine, and he is a machine. He is you've gone live 24 times in 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah, like 2 weeks and 2 days, yeah.
And he is interviewing epic people, and they're having amazing conversations, but it's highly entertaining. Mike, you would love it. He shows up and he's dancing and singing, and there's comedy and there's crazy shit that happens.
Yeah.
He's great. He's fully self-expressed. It's awesome.
I'm telling you, man, you gave me such a good gift by hooking me up with Amber.
My joy.
Again?
It's true. I would be doing a live stream. I'd be grinding, trying to figure this out by myself, and this is hard. I told somebody, I said, book launch, in my opinion, is harder than writing the book. That's I kind of feel that way.
Yeah, it's not even that's fact, right? So writing a book is a year of your life. Promoting a book is the life of your life. It's the rest of it.
Yeah.
I'm still promoting Profit First. I finished, I don't know, 7 years ago, the first version. I was just promoting right before I came on here, doing a presentation, inviting people to get it. It is a life journey.
Yeah.
But I would also argue it's a responsibility. I really do believe the most important work on this planet is the written work, books. Think about things that have changed the world. Let me just pick the Bible, for example. It's changed some people's opinions. That's a book. You only think of something else that maybe changed the nation called the Declaration of Independence. It changed the world. It's written, has permanence to it, and has to be written well, has to be effective. It has to motivate and persuade people. And sadly, in the book industry, particularly now, because it's so easy to write books, that there is this we're being drenched, saturated with some really bad stuff. And that's hurting the industry. Therefore, the people that put their year or 2 or 5 into writing an extraordinary book, they put their soul into the book. Yeah. We have a responsibility to outsell the distraction of the crap. So it's harder than ever before, but we got to step up, bro.
Yeah.
That's how GOT always ends. You got to step up, bro. You got to step up. So I'm proud of you for selling 4,000 pre-orders. That is Herculean. And I hope you are relentless in doing this, not just for the rest of this month or year, but for years to come, for decades to come.
That's definitely going to happen. And on the Fix This Next live stream series, we are having Darius back later this week for a full interview. So definitely want to stay subscribed to the Facebook page or wherever you're viewing this, YouTube, Periscope, and we will send promotion out about that. We are going to dig into his framework. What makes Darius different is he's really created a structure around core values, how to define it, and then how to roll it out into an organization to create what he calls invisible skill. The book is excellent, truly. So we're really happy to have you here. Thank you, Mike, for that. Mike, I'm going to open it up to you. We're out of time. Any last words of wisdom before we jam out to Eye of the Tiger?
Just the responsibility. I don't know if I said this last call, but I just want to share it with every small business owner watching, is you have a responsibility in this market, the COVID crisis, the pandemic, to sell.
Yes.
There is a tsunami of shift coming. They say, business won't return to normal. Customer demand won't go back to the way it was. That's right. The shift. And there's this new awareness, new need, new everything. It's a tsunami. And the tanker ships of Amazon and Google and all these mega companies, they can't turn on a dime, but we're on jet skis, the small business folks.
Yep.
So we can change. And out of every recession, it's always been the reinvention created by small business that turned the global economy around. And great businesses came out of small businesses every recession. It'll happen again. So my thought to everyone listening, why not you? Why not you? Make it today. Make it you. I feel like Mussolini. We're gonna run this country. I don't know if you ever saw Mussolini's speech.
This is a good episode. I love it. Darius Mirshahzadeh. Mike, do you know this one on your guitar?
Yeah, I do, but it's cutting out, so I can't play it. I need my electric. You gotta do the Rocky Balboa walk around.
All right, peace out.
Bye.
Pass it up.